Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I just want to do a talk today about Israel and their right to exist. I've heard it said about the Arab refugees that are the Palestinians living in Gaza. But what we haven't heard of is the Jewish refugees that had to leave Arab lands in 1948, they were expelled from Arab lands. Did you know that there was Jews living in Syria, living in Iran, living in Jordan? All of the Muslim nations, there was Jewish people living in and among them. But once the state of Israel was declared, they were persecuted and threw out from all of the Arab lands where they were dwelling. You see, you hear a lot of talk about how the Jews stole Palestinian land. But you see, the Palestinians could have been taken in by the 51 Muslim nations. Instead of them taking them in, they closed the borders. Egypt did, and even in the recent conflict, Egypt closed the borders to stop the Palestinians from coming into their land. Jordan doesn't much want them either, you see. There's the reason why Israel and the Jewish people, you see, Israel could have kept the Jews that came from the Arab lands out of Israel too. They could have said, like the Muslims, the Arabs have said, we don't want to take the Palestinian or the Jewish people in, just like the Arabs did. But no, Israel took her own people from all of those nations in and reconstituted them back into their own land. But you see, the Palestinian people have been subjected. Hamas, or the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas is 16 years into a 4-year term. He won't go for a vote because he knows that he would be voted out and that Hamas would be brought in. You see, Hamas is the real person, the real entity that is targeting these Muslims, and not Israel. But Israel gets the blame. You see, Israel is a bright shining light, and she deserves the right to exist. You know that anti-Semitism in the United States is up 1,000%, where Muslim persecution is only up 110%. There isn't a Palestinian people, but there shouldn't be. But did you know that Israel and the Jewish people are the real Palestinians? Let me tell you how. Because the Palestinians are people living in Israel proper before 1948. If you were a Jew living in Israel, you were known as a Palestinian. You see, Palestinian and Palestine was made as a slur towards the Jewish people. Palestine, the 2 million odd Palestinians living in the West Bank are living in abject poverty. The only people that give them anything is Israel. Israel gives them electricity, water, medicine, food. Israel even takes the Muslims who have heart conditions into Israel to operate on their wee children's hearts. This is the good news that nobody hears about Israel. Israel does a lot for the Palestinians living in Gaza, a lot more than the Muslim world does. The Palestinians should be living in one of the 51 Muslim nations. They should be. It's they're their people. They're one of their own. And it's a travesty, and I feel for the Palestinian people. I really do. My heart goes out to them. But until they learn that the Palestinian people, Hamas for the Palestinian people are no good. You look at the way they're living. Hamas digs terror tunnels underneath hospitals, underneath schools, underneath government buildings. They take all the funds and put them into digging terror tunnels into just anything that they should be putting the money into doing the hospitals up and doing everything for the Palestinian people. But Hamas is never going to do that. Islamic Jihad is never going to do that. All they want to do is see the destruction of Israel. And if it means their own people have to live in abject poverty, they'll do it. My heart goes out for the Palestinian people. But I have a heart for Israel. And having a heart for Israel, you have to have a heart for the Jewish people, because we're commanded to pray for our enemies. And we don't want to see harm coming to any Palestinian man, woman or child. We want to see them living the way the refugees from the Arab lands, the Israelis live. They live in Israel. Come on, the rest of the Arab world. Bring these Palestinians into your borders and look after them instead of having them living in abject poverty. This is what I ask for. And I just pray this all in Yeshua's mighty name. I stand with it, Israel, because God stands with Israel. Shalom, Maranatha, hallelujah.